On today's Toy Spot, we are continuing our looks at the Build-A-Figure series for Abomination as we have a look today at Marvel Legends Secret War Captain America. Captain America not only comes with the one arm of the two arms that we need for Abomination, but he comes with a really cool throwing, shield appliance. Something you can just swap out with the hand that he's currently holding, and you can have him throwing a shield. I think that's really cool. Side of the box, you've got Captain America there holding the American flag and his said shield. The other side, same image. Same. Back of the package shows you exactly how he could be throwing the shield. I'll show you this when we get him obviously out of packaging. Recruited by Nick Fury for an undercover mission, Captain America serves S.H.I.E.L.D. in the pursuit of justice. Down below, be on the lookout for the other figures in this wave if you want to complete Abomination. Those figures are Scarlet Witch, Secret War, Captain America, Marvel's Captain Britain, Marvel's Eel, I don't know why I had to say it like that, Eel, Marvel's Wonder Man, and finally, Iron Skull. Check out more from Hasbro by heading over to www.hasbro.com, in this case, /Avengers. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the Build-A-Figure Abomination Wave Secret War Captain America. There's more heading away, guys. Don't go anywhere. And it's time to run through the accessories that come included with Secret War Captain America. Obviously, the first one we're going to look at is the arm for, in this case, Abomination. Just admiring the coloring. I love the transitioned lighter coloring that they put on the underside of his arms, giving then to a darker outer skin or above skin, the area of his arm here with the little indentations, and really a lot to look at. I'm going to wait, though, and share my overall thoughts when we get the finished Abomination together. In the meantime, let's bring him in. Thumbsies obviously go in, so we know which way it goes, the arm goes into. And we'll just line it up with the socket, pop that into place. And we are now 2 figures away from finishing Abomination. So stay tuned for those videos. Let's move him to the side. Captain America's other accessory is his shield, this really neat throwing shield appliance. A good way to display him, but if you are wondering, that it's really cool and all, but I wish he could actually just hold the shield in a traditional way as well. Well, actually, the folks over at Hasbro have made it so there's a little hole on the back side. You simply just pop the shield off that appliance, and you can just put this to the side, and then you've got a regular traditional Captain America shield, complete with a hinge that can then attach to his wrist, like so. You want to have him displayed like that, or like other shields in the past, hinge that back again until you've got that little notch there, and you can then plug that into the back of his, well, of his back and display him like that. The only downside, though, is this is so cool. I'll probably display Captain America in this instance using this. I mean, certainly we have received enough Captain Americas in the past that, you know, I can display many of the caps that we previously looked at holding their shields dynamically posed that way. This cap, I'm definitely going to utilize this. If not for the fact as well that there are the little silver colorings that have been added to the fingertips, really, you could use this hand for any of the Captain Americas, though again, the coloring may be a little off from the more traditional Captain Americas that tend to have a lot of red gloves rather than blue. Just to show you what I mean with the displaying of him, you know what I'll do is I'll take the hand out first, then I'll plug this into place. Then attach the shield on top of that, just like that. And results may obviously vary as you are an expert poser, but you can, you know, again, kind of throw the, I guess you would want to throw it as if he's obviously lunged it already at somebody. You can have it like that. Something to mention as well, that they've made it more clear as it gets closer to his fingertips, and the translucent plastic gets darker and darker red as it gets to the shield. And I love the little swooshing that they've added to the plastic as well. Really, really giving it that sense that the shield is being thrown. That's probably how I'm going to be displaying it. Obviously a little bit better than this, but I just did this quickly so you guys can see how it can be displayed. Let's go ahead though, and we'll just revisit the original hand. And let's walk through, you and me, all right, you and everybody else here, let's walk through this Captain America. Now, Captain America, Spider-Man obviously, and Iron Man are front runners as figures that we generally get a lot of in Marvel Legends. And when you get characters such as Captain America presented in a different way than what you normally see them, it's time to take notice. In the case here of Secret War Captain America, I really like this outfit. In fact, it's actually one of my favorite quasi-non-Captain America traditional suits. It's not traditional in the sense that it's more darker in blue, as opposed to being a very light blue that you see with Captain America. Additional lines as well, panel lining have been added in the red, the white or somewhat silverish white running down the sides of his leg, and the areas around his buccaneer boots. The star as well has been replaced, not in a white, but been replaced with a silver star. And he still has the eagle, or the little wings on the sides of his head, now painted in on a silver. The American flag presented there as well on his shoulders, or on one shoulder. And he's got some airbrushing in the belt area of his pants. It's a departure that in normal cases, departure for costumed characters when they get to something different doesn't always work. Truthfully speaking, it doesn't always work. There's always hiccups along the way. We all remember Battle Armor, Captain America, whatever he was in the 90s. That was a ridiculous, ridiculous looking costume. I like this costume a lot. The face as well. Let's look at the face. We've talked really about all his costume and stuff, but let's look at his face. It's a really good face as well. No doubt, I'm sure, has been reused from previous Captain Americas, but still has a very stoic, stern, and confident look on his face. Ears as well are more the sticking out ears as opposed to being covered. I thought that this was an imperfection where the silver was actually running down, but it's actually featured on both sides. The downside, unfortunately, though, with this Captain America is that he's a little on the loose side. Not loose side on the waist necessarily, but he's a little loose when it comes to the torso. That's not everyone's figure necessarily, it just happens to be mine. Let's kind of run down the posability together. If you're not new to this, this probably will seem very much samesies as what we've looked at before, but let's run through this together. He does have a swivel on the head and a considerable amount of articulation in the head, where the head looks up on a level that you don't get with a lot of figures. And when they do happen, I certainly appreciate it. So that hinges up and down. Then again, you've got that full rotation all the way around on the head. The shoulders hinge out, which this one arm for some reason is really stiff for me. The arms rotate all the way around. He has that swivel point on the bicep, allowing the arm to rotate all the way around. He has a double hinge on the elbow as well, a rotation on the wrist. You thought that they probably would have put articulation on the glove, but the glove is sculpted to the lower forearm area of the figure. It doesn't actually allow you to rotate the glove at all. But the wrists do still allow the hands to rotate all the way around, as well as a hinge back and forth. We've already discussed the crunch on the torso, but we can look at that again. And he has a rotation back and forth on the waist. It's interesting as well that the waist, the belt end of it at least, is a separate appliance as opposed to sculpting it. It probably allowed them then to use the same mold and just simply sculpt a brand new belt and just have that as a loose appliance. Legs go forward and back, no problems whatsoever. A swivel point on the top of the leg, a double hinge on the knee, and unlike the glove, the swivel is actually at the top of the buccaneer boot. Then finally, he has a hinge back and forth on the foot, and as well, for those who like their ankle pivots, Captain America has an ankle pivot there as well. Just get everything straightened up. There we go. This is a fine, fine Captain America. The costume design is a departure from what we normally see with classic Cap, but it's actually a design I quite enjoy. This, by all means, is the icing on the cake. I don't know if this has been reused before, but certainly if they ever considered to reuse this again, I would be a happy camper. I especially like, too, that you can take the shield off if you decide you don't want to have Cap necessarily throwing the shield, but holding it in a conventional way. So, well done, Hasbro. Well done. Today's Toy Spot, we were continuing our looks at the Abomination wave, as today we were having a look at the Marvel Legends. This was the Secret War Captain America. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have, I think, 2 videos left. That's right, 2. And then, of course, we're going to finish our looks at Abomination. Thanks for watching as you always do. I'll see you next time.